Greetings and welcome to Monster Legends, and another special feeding episode. This time we're going to be feeding a fellow that I picked up from the limited path of the Lizard Hunter Maze. This is Drakor, and Drakor is a legendary. Drakor is fire. He is a dragon. He's into family, and he is an elite. Unfortunately, he only showed up with 2 open ruin slots instead of 3 open ruin slots, so we're going to have to see if he can earn the gems to unlock that last one. After all, there is a discount right now. So let's put him into place, and let's find out what he's got. I couldn't help but notice he didn't actually have any enemies there. Okay, whatever he does on his own, that's his business. Alright, so let's see, where is he now? Vesta! Nah, we're not going to call him Vesta. We'll find some kind of a cool name, or perhaps my viewers will. So, this is Drakor. He is a legendary, he's fire, he is an elite, although there are some who say he's not a very good elite. Let's find out about that. He appears to be immune to stun. He also appears to be immune to freezing, which can both be very useful. Let's look at his stats. His strength is very good. No complaints there. His life is, meaty, but, these days that's kind of standard. You don't have to be an elite to get over 200 starting health there. And his speed is actually fairly good. We'll see whether or not he actually requires it. Depends on his skills. Let's take a look at his initial skills. Alright, we have Drag Hunter, deals low physical damage to one enemy. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be. Double D drag? I don't know. Then we have Gotch Warrior. I'm sure that has some kind of meaning that I'm not aware of. Deals moderate fire damage to one enemy. And then that really interesting special skill, the power of Drash Got. Okay, he's just going to mix both of those words together. You just made them up, didn't you? Removes all negative status effects, gives 100% life and stamina to itself, deactivates all cooldowns, and applies double damage to itself. And the double damage lasts for 3 turns. Okay, that would be really great, except give him an extra turn. Otherwise, yeah, okay, eventually he's going to be good, and in the meantime, maybe somebody possesses him so he turns it on my guys, When Egg Eater, Goran, Dagnath, Drek, and Draconium created an alliance of dragons, Drakor wanted to join, but because he's only part dragon, he wasn't accepted. That devastated him, but he swore he would have his revenge on the alliance. He would take all the members down, one by one. Start with Drek. He's easy. Okay, so he wants his vengeance, so we're going to have to feed him, get him strong, and then turn him loose. As long as he isn't going after my Egg Eater, Goran, and the rest of them, I don't really care. Alright, so let's get him up to his final form at level 4. Okay. Kind of looks like a fiery male version of Talani in that outfit. Alright, so let's get the skills going here, and they start at level 7. Hit and Push. Deals moderate special damage to one enemy, 50% chance of applying Mega Stun to one enemy. Okay, that's new to me. I've never seen a 50% chance of Mega Stun from an initial skill. Not a starting skill, early skill. Alright, well that's an interesting place to start, so let's continue to level 10. Dragon Curse. Applies fire weakness to all enemies. Okay, 0 and 0, that's not bad. If we could just add that to something else and then have damage coming after that, that'd be awesome. Alright, so let's continue to level 15 for some more skills. Fear of the Drag. Deals moderate special damage to one enemy, applies stun to one enemy. Okay, so it's a single target stun. We'll just throw that there for now. I have a feeling he'll get better. Alright, so let's continue to level 20. Tusk Axe. Deals moderate special damage to one enemy, applies Mega Stun to one enemy. Well, that's better. It's got a bigger cooldown, that's for sure. But, I mean, it's an upgrade of this, so I don't like that cooldown. I know it's a Mega Stun, but I really don't like that cooldown. That's the kind of cooldown you get for something that was group orientated. Alright, so let's continue to level 25. Chosen Dragon. Deals heavy fire damage to one enemy. Applies fire weakness to all. Yeah, right. That's a better version of that. So I'm just going to throw that in there. I mean, just fire weakness by itself, not really. But if you have a heavy attack with it, even if it's single target, and then it gives everybody weakness, well, there's no reason for the old one anymore, right? Alright, so let's continue to level 30 and... Deep Roar. Deals low special damage to all enemies. 50% chance of applying Mega Stun to all enemies. It's a 0 cooldown, but I guess I'll just throw that there for now. I mean, is he a damage dealer? I mean, he seems to have denial to him, but his stats definitely were not denial. Alright, well, he's got some more skills to go, so let's see what he's got. Probably like 4 more or something like that. Alright, what do we got? Drak Breath. Deals heavy fire damage to all enemies. Well, I guess I can put that in the first spot. If I need the other one, I can come back for it. But, I mean, that's a lot of damage. Mind you, it's a lot of stamina. It's got a big cooldown. I mean, you wouldn't want to... If you got the weakness down, that would be very useful indeed. I guess it really depends upon the denial you have, right? Alright, let's continue to level 40. Earthquaker. Deals moderate special damage to all enemies. Applies stun and Mega Stun? Okay, so I guess what they're doing is trying to apply stun twice, only you could get the Mega Stun. Now, the Mega Stun will override the stun. So if someone is stunned and then they get Mega Stun, the Mega Stun will override it. So, I mean, that's pretty good. Let's think about that for a moment. I don't think this one is kind of needed anymore. I mean, I have this, which will do a Mega Stun. But, I mean, the cooldowns are a problem, aren't they? I mean, I can do this one. So I really don't have to worry too much about it. Alright, why don't we throw that one in there? Unless I get upgrades or something weird has happened. I got one more skill I should be getting here. So we'll have to see what we're getting to truly understand if we're taking something out. Deep Roar. Okay, we did this one already. And 50. The Drak Fangs. Deals massive fire damage to one enemy. 0 cooldown. I have to stay with Chosen Dragon. Yeah, it's a 0 cooldown, but what am I going to take out? Am I going to take out the group Heavy Fire, you know, when he can debuff them? Am I going to take out the group Mega Stun? No. Do I take out the single target Mega Stun? I mean, the thing is, there are cooldown issues here, definitely. This one down here is probably the best situation where there's, it's not that much more damage, and that it does do fire weakness, you know? I can't see taking this one. I can't. I mean, I guess you could make an argument for taking this out, since you're going to try to do Mega Stun to all of them. But, I mean, you get a chance to reapply over here. Or to use it on somebody who maybe just woke up and they just got the regular stun. And I don't know. That's a good question. But, I mean, I already have a single target fire damage, and this one does the weakness. So I think I'm going to stay with what I have. Alright, and I do believe that was everything. Let's go level 55. We've seen that one. And level 60, we've seen that one. I'm just going to look, even though I'm pretty sure we've seen everything. Right, that was the last one we got there, the massive fire damage. That's the 50% chance of the Mega Stun. That's the single target stun. No, I don't see a reason to do that one. I mean, if you're gonna get something down, you'd rather get a Mega Stun down than a stun. And that's the single target 50% chance of Mega Stun. Okay, so let's take a look at his stats. His strength is very good. Over 2,300 is very good. Life approaching 14,000 is good. Speed is not bad for who he is. It's definitely not denial level, although it's not bad. We'll say that. It's definitely not bad. His stats are very elite-like. They're very good, right? The life, everybody seems to be getting good lives these days, but the stats are pretty good. The strength, he's obviously supposed to hit things really hard. But I do see issues with the skills, right? All right, so why don't we go through the skills and we'll see what it is I'm talking about. All right, we'll start with this one, the Drak breath. I don't know what's up with that word anyway. Deals heavy fire damage to all enemies. And also, it's just not over the line. It's in there a bit, too. So this is going to do pretty good damage here, especially if he debuffs them against fire damage. Now, he does have a cooldown issue because this one is a 3, this one's a 3, this one's a 3, and this one's a 1. So he's going to have some problems with that. Anyway, this is a very good group fire damage attack. And, you know, that's what he is, right? I guess he's part dragon. He breathes fire. All right, now let's look at this one. All right, this is something you'd really expect from Denial, but it works for him. Earthquaker deals moderate special damage to all enemies, applies stun and mega stun to all enemies. Now, we've seen this before, whereas you try to apply stun twice to an enemy, so if they resist the first one, they'll get the second one. Now, this is the first time I've seen stun put in with mega stun. So the way I see this is if they resist the first one, or even if they don't resist the first one, you're going to try to put mega stun on them right afterwards. Now, I don't know if it's harder to resist the mega stun. I'm going to assume that whether or not you resist a skill or not isn't dependent upon what effect you're trying to put on. It's just whatever the random amount is, right? So obviously you would prefer to get mega stun down on your enemies, and you do have the chance of doing that. So, I mean, I think the way it would work is if nobody resists anything, they'll get the mega stun. That's the way I see this. I hope that's the way it works. I hope it's not if you stun somebody, the skill stops, you know? I would like to think is whether or not you stun them or not the first time, it will try to apply the mega stun. I guess we're going to have to observe that to see how it works. Of course, this won't work on somebody who is immune to stun or some variation of that, like the mountain attribute or something like, or the no control at all one. But anyway, this could be very good. I don't know why it's on him, though. I mean, we've seen some damage dealers have things like these before, like possession and stuff, but I think some kind of a burning torture thing would probably be better for him, considering his strength. You want him to take advantage of that. I mean, the damage is mid-moderate on that. It's just really costly, too. His skills are kind of costly in terms of the stamina. All right, let's move on to this one. This is Tusk Axe. Deals moderate special damage to one enemy, applies mega stun to one enemy. All right, this is a single target mega stun. And there is some justification for, say, taking this one out and putting the big damage in. Because after all, he's kind of a damage dealer. Only it does do pretty high moderate damage according to the gauge. And the ability to put on another mega stun is pretty hard to resist. You know, it really is. It's kind of hard to resist. I mean, for now, I'm just going to go with it and we'll see what happens, right? Definitely the second skill, I should say, Earthquaker, is going to require some testing. And then we have this one on the end. Chosen Dragon. Deals heavy fire damage to one enemy, applies fire weakness to all. Now, is this the same damage as the first one? Yeah, it is. It's actually the same damage as the first one, if you look at the gauge. Only it's against one enemy. The big thing for this one, and the reason I chose it over the bigger 0 cooldown attack, was this one applies fire weakness to the enemies. Which means if you were to lead with this one and then come back with this, unless they resist it, they're going to get a lot of damage. So, I mean, it really depends on what your denial is doing, I guess. And in that case, maybe you would want him to be faster so that he can get that combo going. It's just that he does have an issue with cooldowns here, so you're going to have to use these skills, right? If he gets the opportunity to do this, and obviously you would follow up with this. But after that, I mean, you could go back to this if you want to work on the fire weakness. But, I mean, it's kind of hard not to go to this. So what you're going to lead with, I guess, depends on the situation, you know? But, I mean, the thing about it is you probably do want to have him have a little bit of speed on him. But when he's actually hitting things, you want him to do as much damage as possible. That's heavy fire damage. That's heavy fire damage. That's high moderate. That's medium moderate. So it's these two here you really want the good damage for. And he has a high strength on him, so you really could enhance that a bit. But you know what? I think I actually do want a speed rune on him, just for himself too. You really want him moving faster so that he can take advantage of the weakness he's putting down. Also, you know, the thing about it is that he does do stunning. So in a pinch, he can play denial. I mean, you're not going to have him start that way, but I mean, during the course of a fight. if you have somebody who says does a possession or a freezer, and the situation comes down to it that they're all going, well, he can just go in and do the mega stun on everybody, and give the team a chance to do something else. You know, it is good to have things like that sometimes on damage dealers. The Inheritor has the possessions, for instance. The Imigbo also has possessions. You wouldn't want to use them all the time, but in a pinch, you can do that, right? So it's kind of useful to have it. However, I do see the point that people are making in terms of him being an elite and his skills not being too great. His stats are very good and definitely look like that of an elite. His skills, not so much. I would have preferred to see him be pure damage and maybe do ignition and burning and with a group attack, something like that, and maybe some kind of a self-buff. You know, I mean, something like that. I do realize that he debuffs in terms of fire, but I mean, his group attacks, you know, one of his group attacks is actually this one here. You're going to use this one, and this is special damage. I mean, it's not really a problem, there's special damage, because this one is going to be for denial. And he does have the bigger hit that I didn't take, which is fire, too. It's just that I think that he's a dragon. You know, he should be setting people on fire. That's just me, right? I mean, maybe that's the reason the other dragons didn't want him, because he can't actually do the burning thing. Poor fella. He's okay. I mean, the thing about it is, if he wasn't an elite, I would say he was good, right? I would say he's very good. However, he is an elite, which means that he's on a higher, tier here, which means of the elites that I have seen, his skills are really not as good. Sorry about that, dude. And I'm pretty sure that he doesn't get anything extra. I'm just going to look here. I'm pretty sure that he doesn't. I didn't hear anything about that. Where you look at? Nope. Sorry, dude. Your one salvation, you didn't get it. I mean, situationally, he's good because he can't be stunned. He can't be frozen. He does have some good skills. The Mega Stun could really come in handy. It's just that you want to get the combo off in order for him to do damage, which means you're not going to be able to do the Mega Stun, So, yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, I think if something gave him an extra turn or something like that, or there was some kind of a self-buff he could do to do more damage, I think it would work out better for him. Anyway, I think that's going to do for now. So anyway, thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And play games, because games are fun. See ya.